Hi guys! In this tutorial I'll show how to make a wire ring that has a bead in it. These are the tools that I'm going to use. I have two different types of ring mandrels. One is a plain ring mandrel that has no markings on it at all, and the other one has the markings for the ring sizes. I'm also going to use some wire. This is artistic wire. It's a 20 gauge wire and it's relatively soft. This is in a bronze gunmetal type color. I have two different types of pliers. One is a chain nose plier and it has a flat nose on it. And the other one is a round nose plier. Also, some wire cutters. And I've got an assortment of glass beads, and I'll be choosing one of these. Let's get started. First, I need a bit of wire, probably about that long. I'm going to warm up the wire by running it through my hands. This will help it become softer so that I can bend it easier. And I'm going to choose this green bead. Now I'm going to slide the bead on and put it at the center. It should be at the center. Now because I'm showing you how to do this, everything that I'm doing is not exactly right because it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. Now this ring, I'm going to make it size 10 on the ring mandrel. But when I get finished with it, after I get finished wrapping the wire, it's going to shrink down in size about 2 sizes, so it'll end up being an 8. I'm going to take one of the ends of the wire and wrap it around so that it comes over the top of the bead. And the other end of the wire, I'm going to wrap it so that it's just underneath the bead. So I have one part on top and one on bottom. I'm going to keep wrapping these ends around a couple of times, keeping the top wire on the top and the bottom wire on the bottom, and you could wrap it as many times as you like, but you need to make sure to have a few inches of wire left over so you can finish the ring at the end. Now I'm going to take the bottom wire and the top wire, and I'm going to be wrapping them around the bead and going in the same direction. Just making a circle around the bead, and it sort of forms like what looks like a base for the bead. You could do this as many times as you like if you have enough wire. And once again, you want your ends to be relatively the same length. Mine aren't because I'm trying to show you how to do this. I'm going to twist it around a few times. This is very similar to doing the rose wire ring that I showed in another tutorial. The only difference is there's a bead. Okay, take it off the ring mandrel. I'm going to take this wire that's at the bottom and I'm going to start wrapping it around the band. To do that, you poke it in through the center of the ring and pull it around. Now I'm going to wrap this a few times around that band. I'm going to use my round nose pliers. Part of the reason for that is because I feel like it doesn't scratch up the wire as much as the flat nose pliers do. Also, it helps to kind of curl the wire around. I'm going to probably pull this around 3 times. Now I have just a little bit sticking out. I'm going to trim that off, and I'm going to try to angle that so that it doesn't have like any jagged edges sticking out. We don't want to cut ourselves on it. It's really sharp. I'm going to be pressing down the end and trying to tuck it sort of underneath the rest of those wraps that I have there. If there's any edges sticking out, I could file them down as well. Now I'm going to do the other end. And I'm just repeating the same process. Trying to straighten out that wire so it doesn't cover up my bead. Now you could do it where the bead, you can cover up the bead with the wire if you want, but I don't want that look right now. And this is kind of like what it should look like. It's a little bent. We'll round it up a bit in just a second. But that's what the wraps look like around the band. Now I'm going to put it on my plain ring mandrel, and this will help me stretch out and make it more round. I can also do other adjustments as well. Here I'm just squeezing together the band just to make it seem a little tighter. Also makes it feel a little more sturdy. And then I'm pinching together the wires that are wrapping around the bead. You can bend them or make them look any kind of way you want to. I've also squeezed those wires that are wrapping around the band together to make them a little tighter as well. And that's pretty much what it should look like. Although this isn't the best one I've done. It gives you kind of an idea of how to do it though. I have some other examples to show you. Now as you can see, the size shrank down to about a size 8 from the size 10. But it just depends. You have to just make a few and see what it looks like when you do it yourself. Round beads are, I guess, the easiest type of beads, but you can do different shapes as well. Here I have a faceted bead. And I have used a lot of wire for this one. This ring is very sturdy. This ring I used a slightly different shaped bead, and I wrapped the wire around a lot. I hope this answers any questions that you might have had about making the wire ring with the bead. Keep in mind that you can experiment with any type of bead that you like. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing. Until next time, bye!